Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have your favorite blue-eyed model turned comedian, just fresh off of Nashville, showing some titty. I see. Why? I was like, that's kind of low cut for you, Chris.
Well, it's one of those shirts.
This is why guys have to be on YouTube, because the studio changes all the time. And no, I don't care what you think. It's about the talent and about the titties. And you're wearing like a very low cut shirt.
Well, it's one of those shirts. It's a button in between, you know?
Yeah.
One button up a little too high, I look a little too buttoned up. Yeah. And then one button low, I look like Gingelbert Humperdinck or something.
I wonder, I guess buttons are expensive, but I guess if I was going to do a shirt, it'd be kind of cool if there was like a way there could be hidden like several buttons, but that would cost money. Mm-hmm. Where you could get like same thing with people with, you know, boobs, real boobs or fake boobs or whatever boobs. Is like, sometimes you're like, oh, I just want it like right there, not there. Here, not here.
Like about here would be perfect, but it's what
that's
am
you
I
know who
do?
does that? Rich people who tailor everything.
Yeah,
that's a sign you know you've made it. When you're like, my tailor will have
or
to
monogrammed everything. You know, like the sleeves are monogrammed and stuff.
Yeah, we're taking it to our monogram.
I always found
Oliver has been our family's monogram person.
I always found the white collar to be a rich guy's shirt. You know, if it has like a blue shirt with a white collar, that was a rich guy look. So
well, that's why they call it white collar.
No, you might be right. Perfect.
Chris, so you had your fun shows in Nashville.
Fun shows in Nashville's wild.
Where can they find you next? Because I just approved a post in Juicy Scoop Obsessed Facebook group that said, I can't believe Chris is coming to my hometown.
Is it Eau Claire, Wisconsin? Because I'm going to Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Okay.
People got mad at me for mispronouncing the name, but you get the idea.
Okay.
Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Coming to a place called The Plus in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Nice.
It serves pizza. So that's where I'm at. But I'll be there.
Good time.
I will be there. And then let's see what else I have. That's the 23rd of May. 22nd of May is what we call my birthday show. Because my birthday is May 21st. And at the Parkway Theater in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I will be on May 22nd, Thursday night. And then the Diamond Joe Casino in Dubuque, Iowa on Saturday night, May 24th. On to Comedy Vault in Batavia, right outside of Chicago, the 6th and 7th of June. Magoobies in Baltimore, the 13th and 14th of June. And then the Grand Comedy Club in Escondido, California. All new location.
All fun.
Used to be a California pizza kitchen. Now it's a comedy club.
I love it.
Yeah, if you currently serve pizza or one-time serve pizza, I will play your venue. Anyway, the Grand Comedy Club, Escondido.
So the birthday is here. You're a May boy. So what does that make you?
It makes me like on the cusp of Gemini and Taurus. But I always say Gemini. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm...
all those things are like...
I know.
Like, again, are there 12 personalities? Are there only 365? We were born on the same year.
Yeah.
Anyway, my birthday is June, as you know, June 14th.
And you consider yourself Gemini.
Definitely Gemini. And I celebrate all month long. I try not to have it bleed into July, and I try not to start it until June. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com. Listing your vacation rental on Booking.com opens the door to more guests. Booking.com is one of the most downloaded travel apps in the world. That makes it the place to list your vacation rentals if you want to earn more with consistent bookings, reach new markets, and turn hosting into a steady income. I love Booking.com. The reach is global, the bookings are consistent, and the control is yours. For the bookings you've dreamed of, list your property on Booking.com.
So what is the celebration going to be this year? What do you have?
There's several, as always.
Really?
As always. With different groups, different things. I have so much to celebrate this year.
Like just in life?
Okay, May 27th, 25 years of marriage.
Oh, is that right?
We are leaving here. You are our Uber driver. You've agreed to take us to Jet Suites.
Yeah. Sure.
To get on a plane and go to Drake's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
So celebrated Drake's graduation this week.
Oh, nice.
From Carey Business School of Finance at Arizona State University.
And
prestigious.
Wow, I can't believe he's done already. That's crazy.
He's done. He did it in 4 years. Good for him. And then, just came off Mother's Day. We'll get into that. Then my birthday, it just starts. There's just a lot of things. I always... Yeah. Because my birthday was always like the last day of school or whatever. So there'd always be like a friends thing. So now I have a thing that I'm doing with my sorority sisters are coming out to La Quinta.
Wow.
Flying from all over. There's just 5 of us.
For just your birthday celebration.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then I'll have like my girls here,
Okay.
Then we might, we invited you guys for a couples dinner, sexy couples dinner. You couldn't
did?
come. Yes,
I did.
Last
week.
At Casalina.
Yeah, you did invite me. Yeah.
I'm going to invite you again because there's a big deal thing happening.
Okay.
It was...
Where do I have to go?
Casalina in Woodland Hills, the greatest restaurant ever on Ventura, the beautiful...
That's where the next one's going to be as well?
Yes, because I have something exciting happening there.
Oh.
It'll be on the menu in a couple weeks.
Oh, it's funny.
It's a juicy scoop cocktail.
Really? At Casalina?
Why are you actually really? Why?
No, I think it's great.
You don't think
I didn't know you hung out?
You don't think I'm an 818 legend enough to have one drink at one restaurant when I'm born and raised and lived there my whole life?
I just didn't think you hung out there enough to get a cocktail on the menu.
They love me.
All right, that's great.
And I love them.
I'll go there and get the cocktail.
And I'm excited for you to try it. So we did a little preview cocktail, but it's not on the menu yet. And I had Brandy, Julie, and my other friends come.
Can you say what's in the cocktail? Or
yes, it's a vodka martini.
Okay.
It's a little sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's also soury, and it's super refreshing. And that's all I'm going to tell you right now.
That sounds pretty good.
But it's delicious,
Yeah. All right.
Maybe you wouldn't want 3, but you could have 2, and then you might want
3 of anything.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like 3 martini lunch. Yeah. I would say no. This would be a 2 martini.
I drank in Nashville, and I mean,
you did? You never drink.
Man, I went out, onto that area, Broadway,
what were you having?
Kid Rock Bar, whatever people were giving me, lemon drop shots. I mean, it was like I was like in a frat house.
I love it.
I know. I had a good time.
And then did you have to wake up the next day and hop in your rental car and drive to another gig?
Yeah, I did. Yes. I had to drive to the Somerset, Kentucky, 3 hours. So that's always nice to be hungover driving through Kentucky.
Drinking the coffee.
Oh, yeah, but it was good.
Good.
Got my Buc-ee's, barbecue sandwich.
Best sandwich.
It's the greatest thing ever.
I mean, that's a reason to go on the road. Is to go to Buc-ee's.
I mean, I stop at these Buc-ee's.
I think that pulled pork sandwich is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
So here's what I do now, because I'm never going to be, I don't go there very often.
Right,
we don't have it here. So I get 2.
Oh.
And now I'm like some 1,000-pound sister driving, eating 2.
The 1,000-pound sisters, I guess, got on the Ozempic. They're not. They're like about 250 sisters now.
Yeah, there's no way.
No, they are.
Really?
I mean, I think they did the gastric bypass. No, I just saw a photo of them. And they're still calling it 1,000-pound. I'd be like, at a certain point, I'm like, we're not even...
Yeah.
Together, we're not even 500. Change the name.
Yeah, soon they're going to have to go Charlie's Angels. That's how hot they're going to be. I mean, they're still not. It's not even.
Well, they look a little strange because it's like a balloon that's you've had a balloon for a long time and then it's floating around your house and it's has some wrinkles but it's not out yet. So it's there is a weird something going on. I don't know. And I know people are going to write me. She had a thyroid issue. I don't know what the deal is. I don't watch it, but they're thin now. I saw a photo. They're thin.
Well, that's good. I'm happy for them.
Okay, let's talk about Mother's Day because I just noticed this on TMZ.
Okay.
That Hallee Berry posted on her Instagram, I'm going to have sex on Mother's Day. She's in bed with her boyfriend.
Okay.
And I watch it, and she's hawking lube. She is doing an Instagram lube commercial.
Oh.
And I couldn't help myself. Sometimes people like Chris and I, we can't help ourselves, and we do comment. We do comment. And I commented, and I said, Hollywood is suffering when our gorgeous Oscar winner is selling lube on Instagram, like the rest of us whores.
Yeah. I mean, you got to make a buck.
Anyway, I checked, and it's already up to 4,000 likes or whatever hearts. My comment. So I guess people agree. It's like everybody, hey, this is a serious time in Hollywood, you guys, and they're like, she maybe thought about doing
She's
a
of a certain
podcast.
age, so she's not
she
getting
skipped the podcast, and now she's going straight to just being an influencer selling lube.
She was doing a podcast for a minute.
Was.
There was something with her and a friend, like drinking margaritas.
Yeah, they always are like, just come over. My best friend and I are gonna keep it real.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was
unfiltered.
Like, unfiltered.
And then after like 4 times, she's just like
starts to get a little filtered.
Or you read the comments and you're like, oh my God, I've never had to read such mean comments about my work and my life.
Oh, you got to get used to that.
Yeah, because when I was doing movies, maybe Siskel and Ebert would say they liked it or they didn't like it, but I didn't have to read 700 saying that this podcast sucks.
About the weirdest things. They find like one little thing that you've been sensitive about your entire life, and they just pound it.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of the stars then drop out.
Yeah.
Of the podcast world. It's the comments.
Right.
It's the direct commenting, but they're like, fine, I'll sell some lube, whatever.
So
and the
what
lube
company is she working for?
I don't know, but I mean, they're going to be thrilled. They're going to be thrilled, and then watch now. Everybody else will get on. Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts is
She's
going to
be like,
up.
what
Everybody.
can I do on Instagram too? You know,
well, good for Hallee Berry.
I know, but sometimes can't us losers just have one thing?
Yeah.
Can we just have one fucking thing? I'm never going to win an Oscar.
You have a chance of maybe winning a Golden Globe. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. And did you see that I did a Golden Globe speech with Guy Branum just
I
2 weeks before, and then it came up.
I know.
Now, a lot of people like, Heather, your predictions are not that. Okay. Now I think that my superpower, it's not necessarily predictions, but something's going on with the universe.
Okay.
That started when I talked about getting all the shots and Jesus loves me the most, and I fainted.
Yeah.
It's like divine timing. It's happening all the time. And it's more just like I say something and I just kind of put it out there.
Right.
And then it comes true. And it's not necessarily like a true prediction. Like when I talked about an American Pope.
Yeah.
When we talked about who was going to be the Pope, I'm sitting there with Guy Branum, and I said, wouldn't it be crazy if we had an American Pope? I have a feeling like that could happen or something. And he's like, maybe not because we're not being received well from the rest of the world, whatever. So we got the American Pope. A lot of people remembered me predicting more. I'm like, I didn't really predict it. I just talked about it. But it's just like little things like where I said the Golden Globe. I'm like, well, I'll never get a Golden Globe. It would have to be for podcasting. And then literally 9 days later, they're like, now, of course, the Golden Globe category thing was already in the works before I spoke about it with Guy. But it's just kind of weird that I don't have prior knowledge of this. And then I say it.
And it happens.
And then it happens. Or I said Garcelle is going to leave Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I had no intel on that. Literally 3 days later, she announces she's leaving.
You have what they call, psychic abilities or clairvoyance.
Yeah, but I don't really feel like I have a talent like that. I just go, I just think I have a feeling. And now I just say it. And now it's so fun to have the record of it.
Right.
Of the podcast.
Is there any predictions you're feeling right now that you'd like to let out? I mean, anything that you can let us know? And then if it comes true, people will be like,
it'll probably come
this is getting crazy.
It'll probably just happen when we talk about topics. Okay. It'll just come, just like someone draws, what's his name draws? Oh, he's getting married.
Who?
The little guy that would draw and I would imitate him. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, I don't know. Yes, the guy who sees dead people or something.
Yes, and he would draw.
Yeah, he's
and
on
he'd be like,
Netflix now.
Yeah.
And
he's engaged to a guy that looks just like him.
Oh, good.
Anyway, so
can I ask you this? How about predicting who's going to win the Golden Globe for Best Podcast?
Well, I already know. It's who's
Amy Poehler. Like she's got a new pie. So
it's going to be like Amy Poehler or Mel Robbins or that Mel grifter.
The guy with the blue eyes.
The guy with the blue eyes that, everybody bows down to.
Right.
Possibly could be Oprah.
Oh, does she have a podcast?
It won't be Joe Rogan. It won't it won't be Armchair Expert, which it should both of those guys should be nominated. Yeah. They're doing it really long.
But they don't want them at the it's people you want at the Golden Globes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's it's going to just be because they're going to be like, none of those people did any movies because nobody's making movies. So how else are we going to get them? Well, they all have a podcast. That's why they did it. That's why they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they did it to get them to the
because they're not doing anything else.
I just talked about this on my podcast.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're the genius.
Yeah.
You're always a genius.
Thank you.
But I definitely think you're right.
Yeah. They're like, how are we going to get people to come?
Because how have you never had talk radio be a thing?
Right.
So why podcast now? Talk radio, Howard, has been around forever. We've never incorporated radio.
No. But now it's stars doing it, so you got to invite them. Exactly. So there you go. Okay. The Pope. He's Catholic. Love that it's Catholic. Is the Pope Catholic? Chicago, which I love because, that's my parents' place. Yeah. So they're in heaven and they're like probably thrilled. And so very like all American Catholic family, not like super, super religious. We've heard from like the brother and stuff who was like. Did you see this little controversy?
Yes, there is. And I have the little controversy. Yeah. First of all, I loved this. This was a seminary near Chicago where their guy won and they were all cheering.
They jumped up and down like they won the Super
Bowl. And this was also really funny. This girl said, my mom's literal ex-situationship from when she was 19, allegedly this woman kind of dated him.
Wow.
When he was at Villanova or something.
Yeah, Villanova.
Before, committing to priesthood. And so that was a funny little TikTok that this girl did.
Well, now you know why I committed it to priesthood.
Yeah. And then here's the brother. They went through the brother's tweets. Well, first when they were doing all this, I'm like, they must be going through everyone's tweets. Because every priest now tweets like everybody else. And make sure they don't see something controversial. And then, well, he didn't, but his brother called Nancy Pelosi a see you next Tuesday in a tweet.
Yeah, a drunken see you next Tuesday.
So what?
I know.
You know what? Like everybody, welcome to Catholic families.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us, and we are not responsible for our adult siblings and what they do.
There's a line in The Godfather.
Yeah.
Where Al Pacino is telling Diane Keaton, she's asking, like, what is this family, your mobster family? And he goes, that's my family, that's not me. And I always think of that line when I hear things like this.
Right.
Yeah, that's in the case of you, same thing.
Yeah.
That's my family, that's not me.
And then, and like recently I just saw something about Carol Burnett's grandson was trying to do like a GoFundMe or something, and he's in a wheelchair, and people are like, how could it be that Carol Burnett has like left her grandson to be doing this? And then some people wrote like, don't you know that boy's mom has been like a drug addict and all this stuff, and she's tried over and over and over and over again to connect with them and pay for them and at a certain point, like she's fucking 90.
Right.
And like,
yeah, what's she gonna?
Well, like it's always like, oh my God, can you believe that this person's sibling is,
right.
Yeah, well, everybody has somebody, unfortunately, that gets affected by drug addiction. And there's only so much you can do, like whatever it is. But with this, if he wanted to say that, it doesn't mean he doesn't love his brother. And look, he's already got the big position. He doesn't need to be reelected. He's there till he dies. So go off, everybody. Like anyone in the family can say whatever the hell they want now. It's not going to affect him losing his, Pope thing.
Did you see the Conclave, the movie Conclave?
I know people are going to be furious, but I have not. But I still want to see it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a great plane movie if you're flying anywhere.
Okay.
It's perfect 2 hours. You're in and you're out.
Right.
It's interesting, especially now more than ever. It's kind of does following the headlines. But it's good.
It is interesting. Like,
takes a weird twist at the end, but I'm not going to blow it for everybody.
Okay.
But you'll be like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, don't blow it for me because I will watch it.
Yeah.
I am going to maybe do a movie review in this episode, which I do want to blow it.
Okay.
So I'll just...
Yeah, blow it.
I'll do it at the end. I know life can get overwhelming and you just want to escape. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just slip into a whole nother world. So whether you need a break from the daily grind or just want to get lost in pleasure, Dipsea is your perfect escape. Dipsea is the audio app that lets you immerse yourself into spicy stories that transport you to your wildest fantasies. Dipsea is the female-founded app for spicy audiobooks and more. Created by women for the female gaze. What I love is their app is so easy. So you can explore all your favorite romance genres. So whether it's contemporary, historical, dark, sports, Western, romancy, lesbian, and more, they got you. Right now, Juicy Scoopers can get an extended 30-day free trial. Go to dipseasstories.com/juicyscoop to start your free trial. That's DIPSEA stories.com/juicyscoop for 30 days of full access for free. Visit dipsystories.com/juicyscoop. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com. Listing your vacation rental on Booking.com opens the door to more guests. Booking.com is one of the most downloaded travel apps in the world. That makes it the place to list your vacation rentals if you want to earn more with consistent bookings, reach new markets, and turn hosting into a steady income. I mean, over the past 25 years, they've helped more than 1.8 billion vacation rental guests find places to stay. So why not help them find yours? Booking.com also makes it easy for you to run your growing business so you can chat with guests, accept or decline bookings, and have total control over your property's calendar and finances. It's hosting on your terms. And the best part is getting started is super easy. In less than 15 minutes, you can register your property, and nearly half of partners get their first booking within a week. I love Booking.com. The reach is global, the bookings are consistent, and the control is yours. For the bookings you've dreamed of, list your property on Booking.com. But it's interesting when I've talked to people over the weekend that I didn't even know very well or whatever about the Catholic Pope, and someone's like, well, I was raised Catholic or whatever, but I don't really go to church. Everyone is like reignited into being Catholic. Like It's making people excited and proud and kind of wanting to go back. And that was my one prediction. I was like, let's watch. Like, it's going to be really, really great for the American churches more than anything.
Yeah, we'll see.
That were maybe suffering, or schools that weren't getting their enrollment or anything like that.
Well, he's been in Peru for the last 22 years. So I mean,
still,
I know he's still in America. I mean, they have pictures of him in the, at the Chicago White Sox World Series in the stands, with a jersey on and stuff. So that's pretty good. Anyway,
my dad's cousin, so it would be my second cousin. He was a priest from Ireland.
Yeah, we have two in the Franjola family too.
And did you ever have mass at your house?
No.
Oh, that's so cool.
When
they bring and you see. Remember how you'd like the wafers?
Yeah.
And then I see the wafers in the Tupperware, and I'm like, I kind of want one, but I knew how bad that would be. And then the priest goes, no, you can eat it. You can eat it before. It's it's just not blessed yet, you know. So it's or maybe you can't. I don't know, but having the
it's always weird that you stick their dirty fingers in your mouth. Remember? They would place it on your tongue. I'm like, oh.
But it's always such a coup if anybody had the priest come for dinner, or if you had mass at your house is the coolest stuff.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, but what were you going to say about your Catholic life?
My uncle, Father Vin.
Yeah.
He's dead now, but he was a Jesuit priest, and he baptized Patrick Schwarzenegger, all the Schwarzenegger children out there in Santa Monica at that church.
This is your cousin?
My uncle. My dad's uncle, so my great uncle.
This is the first time hearing about this?
There's two of them. They're brothers.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to mass?
No, not with them. They're
at Santa Monica?
They were only for small amounts of time. They traveled around, you know.
And your dad wouldn't say, "Hey."
He said they're there now.
Uncle Joey is
It was Joe and Vin. That was their names.
Okay, and you wouldn't go and at least go to 11 o'clock mass?
No, I never went. Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
you're a big Catholic disappointment.
I really am.
I want to go back to Mother's Day real quickly.
Okay.
Because Tom Cruise praised ex Nicole Kidman amid the fact that he's dating the Ana de Armas, who is that was dating Ben Affleck prior
for a minute,
and
among others.
And then, so anyway,
very pretty.
What do you think's happening here?
Well, I mean, here we go again with this Tom Cruise thing. You know, I say what you want about Tom Cruise, he just doesn't I know there's the rumors and all that, but he just the one thing about him, he just doesn't seem sexual or and that's nothing wrong with that. He's focused on work, you know what I mean? So why are we pretending that he's into Ana de Armas? He's just not. He'd rather make Mission Impossible. I feel I don't know anything about the man.
Yeah, I also think once you've lived that life, are you really motivated to romance yet another woman?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's
be charmed by her and jump on a couch by her and I mean, yeah, at a certain point, aren't you? I don't care how much plastic surgery you get and how many of your own stunts do. You're like 63. Are you still like pining after a woman in a proper way of like courting someone? Like, what is this?
Well, it's hype for the new Mission Impossible movie coming. Of course, it comes right at that time. Mission Impossible is coming out in 2 weeks.
And look, I haven't talked about her. I know she was the Marilyn Monroe that like got all the Oscar nods, but then people said it was like boring. Oh. I never saw it. So but I feel like we haven't talked about her in a while, and she was kind of like a hot subject when she was dating Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
So sadly, guys now, it's working for guys too. If they like, Pete Davidson's, he's mostly known. Yeah. He's not known for his funny characters on SNL. Let's be honest. He is known to the average person walking on Earth because he's dated not only Kim Kardashian, but a lot of famous women. Right. That's not to say he's not super funny and talented, but like it does help people know who you are when you're dating somebody of interest.
I mean, it used to be the way they did it in the 50s.
They would match you.
They would just go out with this person. And it's true. I mean, some people, honestly, all the women that he's dated, their careers have been helped by,
but people feel like...
Not that, Penelope Cruz is a great actress, but it helped. It helped with Mimi Rogers. I mean, who knew who she was before they started dating?
Yeah.
And, all the other ones.
Yeah, and Nicole Kidman, and then...
Kate.
But I feel like Katie Holmes... She thought it would boost her more into the movie star world, and it really didn't.
No. Well, yeah. I think you got to do. I don't know how good an actress she is.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman's good.
Yeah. So, anyway, so then Nicole Kidman, they said, excludes her kids with her ex, Tom Cruise, from her Mother's Day post. Well, she has had no relationship with those 2 kids since they broke up.
Right.
The 2 kids were adopted with him, and there was always the rumor that that's why they got divorced, because he believed something was going on where there was some claim that he thought she was some infidelity thing, because like I don't remember what it was, but she had the 2 adopted kids with him, and then and she said she was shocked when he dumped her, and he dumped her right before the 10-year mark, and people wondered if that had to do with money. And then she went on to, I believe, carry the daughters. So she only with what's his name? The singer, Urban.
Yeah, Keith Urban.
Yeah, and then her mom. And I'm like, well, she doesn't have any relationship with him, And also it's just like, I don't know, like that was just her post, It's just like people, sometimes these posts on these days just get so analyzed, and you can't do it right. Like,
Yeah.
You can't, it's like, we're all getting together for the graduation. So Brandon is coming down from Oregon. Drake, I'm going to see him, tonight. And then we're all going to be together on Wednesday for the graduation. So just Mackenzie came. Okay.
Did you post a Mother's Day picture?
Yeah, but I just posted it with Mackenzie. Yeah. I'm like, it's my Mother's Day. Like, I don't need to go. Like, why do I need to spend 20 minutes doing hashtags? Yeah. Like, fuck. Like, just... Right. No, we had a great day. Went to a fancy brunch, took some photos. I went in my pool. It was the best. Who cares?
I can't. I can't even find a picture with me and my mother together. She's still going. But she always takes she'll send like a picture to show this to Becca. She'll to the phone down here. Like, why did you take that picture? So I can't post anything like that, Anyway.
Yeah, so much of it is, and then it's like, this was great, okay? Oh. This was Hilaria crossing the streets of New York, holding her book, which came out, Hilaria Baldwin, holding her book like this so you could see it and being like, now you can pay these paps to come take photos of you. But you know what? I'm like, hey, the book came out right around Mother's Day.
Right.
You got to sell that book. I had books, and I'd go into the bookstore and I'd put mine in front of other people, like everything you had to do.
Yeah.
Actually, when we did After Lately, my second book was like a storyline, and I had like a big party, and I'm like carrying the book sign across the street and like calling the paparazzi. I mean, it's all what you have to do. She's got to sell the book.
Wasn't Jerry Jewell at that? Didn't she come and film?
And After Lately, she came. Yeah, she loved my impression of her. Yeah, no, she showed up at the book.
Yeah,
my actual book signing. Who I would do an impression of Jerry Jewell from Facts of Life, who's a stand-up comedian, and I remember my friend goes, as we're going through, as I'm signing the book, my friend goes, Jerry Jewell is here. I go, shut up.
Yeah,
and she's like, no, and I go, hi, and she was like, I love the impression. A lot of people have done me. I love it. And if you ever want me on the show, I'd love to come. So then we wrote her a part, and she got paid as an actor to be in the bit about me getting caught doing an impression of her while she's in the audience.
I think I remember your book party. I could be wrong, and correct me if I am.
The book party, the second book,
Hollywood.
I had a real book party.
Yes,
Yeah, the second
and I think the guy who did Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife, I think he was there.
No, because somebody wrote me, but then I pressed my
He
PR,
was, right? I'm not crazy.
My PR guy at the time goes, this guy wants to come. And I mentioned it to you guys, and you're like, fucking yes, have him come. And he came. Because I was like, why the hell not, you know?
I remember he was trying to explain to me who he was, and it was kind of loud. And he's like, I'm the Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife guy. And I'm like, what? And then I was like, oh, yeah, because he looked completely different. He had like straight hair. And I mean, wow.
I was desperate for anyone to come and stand in front of that. Yeah, in front of that thing and sell the book. So anyway, I have not read the book, but I did hear that she does talk about the accent thing, but not much, and says something to the effect that she has a code identifying problem.
Like a dyslexic type of situation. It's complete bullshit, but
if you want to sell the book, just be like, I started it and I just kind of loved it. Yeah. And then it was like, yeah, maybe it'll be like the lie that Sherry Papini said, that she started her lie when she got kidnapped, and then she just couldn't stop the lie. But I guess she doesn't want to say that. But I mean, I love it. The Hilaria, Sherry Papini.
And also it's like, she's like a boring girl from like Boston. It's probably like, I don't know, I felt more exciting when I was Spanish. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. It's more fun to say cucumber than cucumber. That's it.
Yeah,
you know?
And I also want to say, my friend told me that Alec Baldwin was going to this restaurant all the time, and he had a thing for Spanish girls.
Right.
I spoke Spanish, and I turned it on, and he never asked me anything about me. We got married in 6 months, and then had 7 kids.
Yeah.
And he just found out a year ago that I'm from Boston, and he still won't make a big deal out of it.
No, he's just like, I'm in now, you know?
And then J-Lo just did like spinning around, which, you know, a lot of women could just, I took a bathing suit photo. Why the fuck not? Okay, so then, let's see what else I want to talk about. Okay, P. Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
So this was from People, Jury, and Nearly Final. This is from a couple days ago. Don't you think it's kind of interesting that in this day and age, we still have like a sketch reporter?
Yeah, in only certain cities, I believe there are.
It's like such an old-fashioned thing. I mean, it's kind of like a beautiful art if that's what you do. Like, I mean, that if you're an artist and you can draw, that's a great gig. You get to draw, you get to be on a juicy crime.
I know. And then when you're off, you're at Universal Studios doing caricatures of people with a big head on a skateboard.
But like of all the things, like, and same with court reporters. I'm like, why do you need in the day of today, but even AI from the last year and a half, why? And I don't want a court reporter to lose her job, or his. But like, why do we, like, you wonder, like, do we really need that anymore?
Yeah.
You know, like, wouldn't they just be able?
Sketch artist, two different things. But
I know, but both things, like, wouldn't it be able to just like we'd have photos and we would have it just like you text talk to your phone. Like, why do you have to go? Can you read that back to me? Yeah. But anyway, I mean,
it is. I think it does vary from. I've always thought state to state. You could see in some states they allow photographs, and some don't. I think New York is
so
one.
If they don't, then you bring in the sketch.
That's why if it's in a New York courtroom, you still see sketch artists.
And then I wonder, like, if you win, then you're like, hey, can I buy that off of you? Because it was like such a great experience. Like if you're the, you know, like if you're the person on trial who didn't go to prison.
I don't know about this one. He looks like
They gave him a little white.
Yeah, because he's gray.
He has gray, but okay, it's gray on his chin. Anyway.
They don't let you do the dye in prison.
You know, 50 Cent, always such a good time. He posted this when they were looking for the jury, and it's a photo of him, 6 of him in 6 different colored suits.
I mean, this guy comes up with some pretty funny
He is funny, and you know what makes you realize why he was into Chelsea? He probably loved our show and was probably obsessed with the show. He wanted to be a comedian. He wanted to be on the stage.
Right.
Okay, so the family arrived, all the kids, everybody in force.
Yeah.
That's another thing about these big, long things. You know, your whole family goes. Mm-hmm. And then, like any trial, it starts to teeter off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, is everyone going to come every single day, dressed to the nines, where you have like a limited amount of places to eat for lunch?
Right. You get in the court cafeteria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to go till the end?
Right.
Even when it's like you're the family of the victim, even they get tired after a while and are like, I don't want to go, or I don't want to hear that part of the testimony. They give them a heads up. It's going to get real graphic, whatever. So I guess, according to the prosecutors who's setting up some of the stuff they're going to present, a lot of it is from Cassie, because once she got her big $30 million or whatever from the case with him, I guess all of that then became, hey, you want to be a witness for us? And she was like, I guess so.
And she's the one on the hotel elevator video?
Yes.
Yeah.
So her whole story, which was in her case, which got her the $30 million, that's really the evidence. That's the strong evidence. And then because their defense is he just had these freak-offs. Everybody that wanted to be there wanted to be there. Yes, we had sex workers, but they were workers. They were paid.
Right.
No one was there against their will, and no one was underage. And so you shouldn't, jury, judge my client on his sexual preferences.
Right.
But in it says the feds, this is according to TMZ, who's covering this case, the feds say Diddy called the parties with male escorts freak-offs, wild king nights, or hotel nights. And they say his staff organized transportation and lodging and set up rooms with lubricant and lighting, paying sex workers.
Oh, hopefully it was a Hallee Berry lubricant. Wait, I think there could be a tie-in. Where's Hallee Berry when you need her?
Ladies, you know what is a great feeling? Is dumping your gross old underwear that don't really fit. Like the other night, I always sleep in underwear. And the other night, I'm like, wait, these aren't even like elasticy enough around my legs. And it actually kept my night horrible. And you know what I did? I took them off and I threw them away. I'm like, what am I doing saving on to this gross, ill-fitting underwear for so long? That is why I love MeUndies, because it's time to break up with your old undies and bralettes. They have a style for everyone, from all black classics to fun, expressive prints. MeUndies has a look for everyone. Plus, they come in sizes extra small to 4XL, guaranteeing a flattering cut for every body. Spring into comfort with MeUndies. Support Juicy Scoop by going to MeUndies.com/JuicyScoop and use my code JuicyScoop to get 20% off your first order plus free shipping. That's MeUndies.com/JuicyScoop, code JuicyScoop for 20% off plus free shipping. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in. I want to tell you guys, I have been loving using Go Pure. I use it every morning and every night on my neck and my décolleté. And I cannot tell you how different my skin feels to my hand. Like, it feels so much softer, so much more hydrated, and I absolutely love it. And I want you guys to try it because you will feel the same way. Go Pure isn't just about transforming the skin on your neck. They have a full line of science-backed skin and body care to tighten, lift, and smooth skin from head to toe. From powerful targeted body creams to deeply hydrating retinol moisturizers, every product is packed with clean, effective ingredients that deliver real results. Tighten, lift, and restore elasticity in your neck because your skincare routine shouldn't stop at your jawline. For a limited time, our Juicy Scoop listeners get 25% off Go Pure with code JuicyScoop at checkout. Just head to gopurebeauty.com, use code JuicyScoop, and you're all set. And after you buy, do us a favor. When they ask you where you heard about Go Pure, tell them it was from me, Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop. But they said one of the things that he mentioned was that Diddy made an escort pee in Cassie's mouth. They say Diddy was directing every step of the sex parties, and he expected the women to appear like they were enjoying themselves.
Oh, okay.
So the peeing in the mouth, well, do you know what that reminds me of?
I mean, what? What does that remind you of?
Well, I mean, not to bring it back to our old boss, but like she had like a video and has talked about it on talk shows and everything.
Biggs, right?
Like she was in the water about to get up from like snorkeling, and Jason whipped it out and peed on her face. Yeah. And the video went viral.
She was in the water.
In the water. I mean, she could just dip her head, but like still, like, oh, what a funny thing this is. But I mean, like, no, this isn't funny. But then there are people, I'm sure, that would say, that's my sexual kink, is I actually want to be peed on and all that other stuff.
Clip that.
Take it out of context.
Yeah, take it out of
Just
context.
me telling you,
Put it on TV.
my sexual kink is I'm like, Peter, don't you dare go to the bathroom before we don't both hop in the shower together. Because I want to feel.
And don't you have don't have asparagus for the next or the previous 3 days or whatever.
Right, before we get mine, because that's my kink.
Because I'm into it.
That's my kink. I don't know, but that's what they're going to say.
Right.
They might. Who knows what this is? Who knows that they won't bring in people, women, as experts saying, yeah, it's something that I really loved. I love the flavor. I don't know what how they're gonna try to say that everybody was a willing participant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's got, you have to have a defense, and there's your defense.
Okay, let's lighten it up because it's a dark subject. I wrote to you and I said, are you watching Hacks season 4, HBO Max? This is the show I've talked about. Guy Brennan wrote on it the first season, so he's not writing on it this season. This season is the character of Deborah Vance, who's kind of a combo of, it's a created character, but I feel like they take a lot from different people and then created a character.
Right.
So like it's a little Joan Rivers-ish, that she sold stuff on QVC and she's kind of snarky, and then there's a little of like I see myself in it. Like I see a lot of, it's really a great character. Her name's Deborah Vance, and she's in her early 70s, and they decide to give the new late night spot to her. Right. Which, I'm sorry, would never happen.
Never.
It wouldn't have to for a 7-year-old man. I mean, you want to give it to someone that's going to do it for 20 years. Yeah. At least, in my opinion.
I did watch like 4 episodes of season 4 last night. And I've tried to give this show, I've given this show 100 chances. I'm sorry. I know it wins all the awards. It's just bad. I'm sorry. It's a bad show. As a guy who's in comedy, I don't feel the people who are behind it are in comedy. Like I don't feel like the stand-up is portrayed properly. I don't feel like the road is portrayed properly. I don't feel like late night television is portrayed properly. And
I felt it was a little bit because they show like, trying to get, a guest falls out. We would have things like that. And especially in the beginning. And like, I actually thought there was a lot of things. It was, to me, it was quite triggering, to use the word of the decade. And I felt like I couldn't even sleep after. Okay, you didn't get to the episode
Not
where
yet. I'm on 4.
She does something so cruel to the young woman writer that now they're at odds. They were best friends. She was the assistant. Not the assistant. She was her writer, and then she became head writer. And she does something so cruel and humiliating while they're watching. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what she does.
Okay, go ahead.
So they're matched. They're hating each other during this time. She hates her head. They hate each other. And the girl is bisexual. The girl, what's the
Hannah Einbein?
Hannah's character is, and at one time she had a very serious girlfriend early, like 2 seasons ago, that was like a rising actress, and she thought they were going to get married, and the girl dumped her. Okay, the girl comes on as a last minute. No, the girl ends up doing a longer segment. Deborah goes to keep her for a longer time. Yeah. Already Hannah's dying because it's her ex-girlfriend, and she's like, okay. So she's on the floor watching it, and they have time to fill. And Deborah goes, don't you have a funny story about your superhero ring that you use in this movie? And then the girl goes, oh, well, I didn't think I was going to tell this story, but yes, she goes, didn't your ex-girlfriend think that the ring was for her? And she has this whole story where Hannah thought the girl was going to ask her to marry her because she found the ring, which was just a prop.
Yeah, I remember that.
Watching it, it was like, to me, it was just one of those things after being on a late night show where writers were used for content and used in a humiliating way. It was so triggering. I literally could not sleep all night. Wow. So I was like, it was so mean. Yeah. But so to me, I find it interesting, but I definitely will agree it's not getting the buzz as far as just among people I know that it did the first couple seasons.
Here's my problem with it. I watch it. I'm like, what year is this being shot in? Just like talking about late night television as if it's still relevant. Like at one point she goes, first of all, like you said earlier, there's no way she would be hired to be late night television. It wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So right there, the premise is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then she says something like, I need this in 3 months to be a global phenomenon on this show. I'm like,
to be number one.
It doesn't happen anymore. Like, then you need to be talking about podcast, like Joe Rogan, like things like that. Like, you're losing your, maybe they do. I don't know.
You know what? That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like you're losing your guests to.
Season 5 is now going to be her getting a podcast.
Yeah. Or like losing out guests to whatever shows. And, I mean, it's just, sometimes I find it to be like just even the Helen Hunt character, I'm like, this doesn't even exist anymore. And I think everybody knows that. Like talking about late night television, it feels like such an archaic plot line.
Yeah.
To base an entire season on.
Right.
That's all.
Well, I see what you mean, but there's some kind of things because then they have the writers and they're like just like such a mismatch of like weirdos.
I hate when they make. As a guy who was a television writer, you as well, on the same show, good looking. We had a very good looking staff of people. I hate when they make all the writers the frumpadumps that they have in this show.
Well, they're just a handy or just, I don't know. It's fine. But I still love the two of them. And the acting is incredible.
They're good.
I disagree. I think Hannah's.
I know. I'm just telling you.
I think Hannah's acting is.
She's excellent. She's
think
better than she's ever been this year.
I think her acting is really, really good.
Gene Smart's always
So even
great.
if you don't like this season, I think she should definitely be nominated.
She's great.
Like she's crying on cue.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
But
going to say
this. And she has a freak out.
Yeah.
And quits. And it made me go, oh my God, I never ever like. It just, like I said, it was just a very, it's been 10 years since I've been there. I personally think they did capture it, but maybe you didn't. Maybe because I'm a woman, I feel like my perspective is different. And being like that person that was at one time really, also she was really close to her at one time. Now they hate each other. Like, there's a lot about it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to get your perspective.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to say this, and I don't know why it drives me crazy, and I think it might be an HBO thing. I've never seen worse extra acting in my life than on. First of all, Sex and the City used to have
the background actors.
Background people, people in the background who were just going really over this one. And I thought Sex and the City was the worst one, and now this is topping it. The people, whoever's directing the second people unit, whatever they call it, those people need to just tell them, just don't do anything. Don't do anything. She's going to walk past. They're going to have a blowout by the pool. You don't need to go, like you're in a Charlie Chaplin movie. I mean, it drives me insane. Now I can't stop watching the background actors, and it drives me
That
nuts.
is a good time. You know our show is coming back. Have you seen the trailer for Sex?
You sent it to me.
And the City.
Yes. Way too much kids.
Way too much kids, and I'm like, but I'll never not watch it. But I'm not excited. Like, I'm sorry, I'm sad Chaz is gone.
I know.
Wait, Chaz wasn't her name.
No,
it wasn't Chaz. What was the name that?
It was something like
Diaz.
that, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was something Diaz.
Che Diaz.
Che Diaz.
Yeah.
I'm bummed that I loved the Che Diaz thing.
I know,
so much. It was
we goofed
so
on her
much,
so much they got rid of her.
It was so much fun to talk about. I'm like, I hope.
And she started getting better.
Yeah.
You know, like the second season, it got a little better. I mean, it was
anyway,
fun.
Well, now but we see Miranda, and she's got like a new love, and we'll see what happens. But it does. I don't know I don't know if it was the music or what, but it was not. The trailer was not.
No.
Getting me excited, but I'll never not stop watching it. But that's also
me too. I mean,
okay. So now let's talk about some other things. Apparently, there's been a lot of talk about Kelly Clarkson leaving her daytime talk show.
Right.
She was on stage and she referenced this was so great to come on stage, and she did like a show. We can't do a lot of these with the daytime shows. So I don't think being a daytime talk show host was ever like her aspirations. When she was a nobody, it was to be a singer. And she doesn't need the money. She has this whole other talent that she probably feels is not getting. But I also feel that's why the show's a hit.
Yeah,
is
does
that,
she sing in
that
the
she
beginning?
sings. Oh, she sings all the time. Yeah. But I do think she's a very likable person, but it's a hit.
She's very good.
She doesn't want to do it anymore, but she hasn't announced it. Is that your opinion, or did she not want to do it anymore? She has.
Because she hasn't been there for a while.
Right. She has said many things where it's clear that she is having guilt and wants to, not guilt, but she wants to be with her young kids more.
Yeah.
And whatever the situation is, I don't know why they can't move it to Nashville or wherever, why they can't move the shows closer together.
Yeah.
They're probably trying to do anything to keep her.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think bringing somebody else in is going to keep the audience.
Show.
So the latest rumor is that they'd maybe give
Not going to bring in some 70-year-old comedian.
Yeah, they're going to give it. The rumor is Hody Copy.
I know, I saw that, but
I was like, that doesn't make sense either. And then apparently she left Jenna Hager Bush because that's not her name, Jenna Bush Hager.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to pay her what she wanted,
yeah.
and then that she was an older mom and wanted to walk the kids to school. So then I was like, okay, she'll just like do, and she already has podcasts. I'm like, she'll just do her podcast and like whatever that'll be now. I don't think it'll be her. I don't know. Maybe they think let's go for something old and familiar since the audience that watches it is not probably young moms. But I think if I was the executive, I would get like a funny young girl.
Yeah.
To do it.
Right. But also, I think
that would bring in like a hip audience.
I think the appeal of this show is that it is the singing and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you almost need somebody who can sing like the other one.
I feel like they were doing that had happened with Jennifer Hudson, but I don't think Jennifer Hudson sings on her show.
No, I don't think so either. Who does the spirit walk where they walk down the hallway and all the people sing for them?
That's Jennifer Hudson. That is Jennifer Hudson. Yeah.
That's become quite a thing.
So that's her thing. That's her, karaoke cut, whatever the carpool karaoke.
Oh,
yeah.
He came back. When did James Corden was at the Met Gala.
Oh, yeah. He's emerging.
Oh, we
don't miss him at all.
Listen, I love your English fans, but take him back. We don't want him anymore. We are done with him.
Yeah. Again. Yeah. You know what? That's a late night choice that pissed me off.
Yeah. Lasted a long time.
Keep it to Americans. No, just kidding.
Yeah, lasted a long time.
Why are these English people taking all of our jobs? They're already all the hostesses at fancy restaurants. You always have to have an English accent answer the phone.
She didn't do it for that long. I mean, she hasn't been on it for 20 years. You know what I mean? How long has she been doing her talk show?
I also just think younger people, which I love, it's like they're all about their mental health. And if this show is not fun anymore, and she knows I don't need the paycheck, she would never have to work again another day in her life. We could live a lovely life, pay for college, buy her kids' first homes. I think there comes a time where people are just like, I don't want to do it. Like, sure, will I regret it? I don't know, maybe, but maybe not. Like, who cares? I don't know. She's and also, she's divorced. She's,
I'm
looking
shocked
great.
At how many people watch these afternoon. I mean, it's a lot of them on, and they all do seem to do pretty well.
Hers is exceptional.
I know hers is
okay.
Very good.
So getting to the latest on the Blake Lively, people call her Fake Lively.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
oh, that's
just like Amber Turd and she is supposedly breaking her silence, but it's through her attorney. She has gotten notice she will be subpoenaed to testify in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively.
Taylor Swift will. Yeah.
Taylor Swift will. And they're basically saying her attorney said to the effect of, she didn't write the script. She was never on set. One of her songs was used for it. That's it. She didn't advise anybody. Because it goes back to one thing that Blake Lively wrote in text going back and forth with Justin when they were on decent terms while filming the movie is she wanted to rewrite this scene that clearly Ryan Reynolds got his hands on with his corny ass weird jokes. And that's where she goes, where he's like, I like you. And she goes, what are you, 5? I like you. And then that was one of the weird Ryan lines. The other one was, he's like, I'm a neurosurgeon. And she starts hysterically laughing. She's like, oh, I thought you were like a finance bro. Like, it was just, anyway. So he goes, okay, I get it. Great job. Like, he's just appeasing her. He's like, great job on it. And she's like, yeah, like, basically she says in it, Ryan or she refers to Ryan and Taylor as, I've got 2 dragons. Have you ever seen Game of Thrones? Yeah. I'm like Khaleesi's and I've got my 2 dragons here. and they loved, working on it with me. So now Taylor, who nobody ever wants to be dragged into a subpoena,
right.
especially when you're famous, which means your text messages might be subpoenaed. And I don't even know if you can filter, but I mean, I don't think anybody would ever want their phone turned over to anybody, let alone a court thing in a public. So I think she's probably like, he did say I met her once. Like once she was there at the house and was like, "Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for this movie. Congrats." And so basically now she's saying, "No, like I didn't help write this thing. I wasn't there to like leave me out of it, but that's too bad. She's going to come."
Wow. I mean, that'll be exciting.
And then the Blake Lively's rep slams bully Justin Baldoni for subpoenaing her. They said calls it an attack on women's rights, which I'm like, sorry, this is a big thing. You brought it on, and you should have thought about before you filed the lawsuit, that all these people that are in your life, including, I guess, Bradley Cooper was somehow mentioned too.
They all live in the same building or something. I think in New York, they all live in the same building.
Or he was at the party.
Yeah.
That like Ryan yelled at Justin. I don't know. There's so much. Blake Lively asked the judge to make Justin Baldoni and others hand over financial records. This I could see happening. So he's suing for $400 million.
Right.
And when this happens with like, which is along the same lines of slander. So you say I'm this, horrible person and I want to sue, you say something. I killed a puppy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't kill a puppy, and I proved I didn't kill a puppy. But you said it, and I lost a puppy chow commercial and da-da-da-da.
Right.
So now if I sue you for slander, I would have to prove that right after you said I killed a puppy, the deal that had already been inked was revoked,
right.
And I lost $2 million to selling puppy chow. So she's saying, like, you have to prove that since then you and Wayfair have lost at least $400 million worth of business.
Yeah.
He was dumped by the agent and I guess lost a directing job. But that's normal that he'd have to show that. But this is not going away.
Oh, I wish it would. I mean, I was into it.
I know, but I have to just fill people in.
No, I understand. I get it. But it's one of those stories that I just feel like I've had enough, of both of them.
Well, I really had enough because I watched Another Simple Favor.
Oh.
So if this is something you guys want to watch, okay, skip like a couple minutes because I'm going to tell you what I fucking thought of it.
Okay.
It was awful. It was the worst. And I loved the first one.
Really?
The first one was like a black comedy.
Uh-huh.
And there were twists and turns and I didn't know where it was going. This one is like a crazy soap opera turned like weird Lifetime movie with awful acting, like mixed in with like Nickelodeon acting. Like
wow.
it was so bad. Right away, I predicted the plot. Okay, which was spoiler. So in the first one, it turns out she has a twin sister. And she kills the twin sister.
Anna Kendrick or
Blake Lively,
okay.
and she kills the twin sister, and like whatever. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. She gets out of prison. Now she wants Anna Kendrick to be her maid of honor after Anna Kendrick, and Anna Kendrick's character is doing everything we do. She's got a YouTube. She's looking at her likes. She's posting all the time, and she's got books, and she's like, "Come and be my maid of honor," even though like you thought I tried to kill you or whatever. And since I've seen so many parodies of people imitating Blake Lively in the last movie, I just can't take her seriously.
Yeah.
Like she still has weird outfits on and like she's very like a skirt with pants underneath and too many chains. And she's like, and she does this weird thing with her mouth. And she's like, "Hey, baby, no. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, yeah." And her hair is like crazy. And it's bizarre. She's making like 29 martinis in a row and it's just awful. And the twists are so stupid. And the twist, okay, ready for the full spoiler?
Sure.
She gets married to a guy. Turns out she was his beard and he was really gay. Okay. So that was one thing. Then what I predicted was They're not just twins. They're identical triplets.
Oh,
so sure enough, the third one comes.
Who is it?
Which has been a movie a million times.
Yeah.
It's herself playing identical. So it's her playing both roles.
Oh, wow.
And they just kind of change her eye makeup a little and like change her lipstick. And are you ready for the finale of this?
Yes, I am.
The sister is sexually obsessed with her, and they have lesbian sex.
What? The sister?
The triplet sisters do. Except one is dead.
They all, I don't like that.
And they're making out. And so it's like, maybe this would have been shocking had we not seen White Lotus.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like just the poster alone is going for the White Lotus audience. You know what I mean?
Yes, with all the different people. Oh, and then in the corner is Elizabeth Perkins with a wig on.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood what her character was. She was barely in it. I think she had like Alzheimer's. I don't even know. I was going to look up, please explain the movie to me, because I was falling asleep in between.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. It was so lame. It was embarrassingly bad
so
and
at the
lame.
end, she has lesbian sex with her sister, her twin
sister. The
sister
drugs her and then goes down on her and fingers her and stuff.
Really? Oh.
And then the way she saves herself from her mean sister is she
pees in somebody's mouth? What?
is she says, yes, we are in love. And they start making out in front of her son, who's 10. And the 10-year-old's dad died that the morning of his mom remarrying, and he still was like at the ceremony.
Wow.
Like people, like the guy is killed, and they're like, well, we're still just going to go ahead with this wedding now. I don't even know, but it wasn't. What was nice about it is it took place in Capri, however you want to announce it. And that was fun because I was there last summer and I liked looking at the places.
Yeah, that's
so like if you want to just look at the beautiful views and like and you've ever been there or you want to revisit it in your life, that's fun.
Yeah, that sounds
But
nice.
it was an awful movie.
Oh, I wouldn't even.
And this girl in the corner, she's a book agent, and so when she's like, "Oh my God, Sean, who was the husband who just died, but someone killed him." She's like, he just died. And she jumps up and down. Yay, new book. We're going to have a new book. And I guess it's supposed to be like weird and campy. I think I could have possibly enjoyed it had this whole last 6 months not happened.
Yeah, you're a little tainted by Blake
I'm
Lively.
tainted by all the horrible impressions of Blake Lively and the fact that she's that person.
Yeah.
And there you go.
I get it.
That was awful. Okay, let's talk about Karen Reed, the latest with Karen Reed.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned you the other day when I talked about it.
Oh, good. How so?
Well, one of the biggest things is they say, how is it that she brings her friend Jen McCabe to go look for missing John, and they discover him on the front lawn of Jen McCabe's sister and brother-in-law's home,
right?
Who had the party.
Yeah.
And the defense is you obviously knew he was already dead. You already knew where he was. Because why didn't you run into the house and see if anybody else was dead? Or let alone run in and go, I hate to wake you guys up, but like fucking John, who was hanging out with us last night, is dead on the front lawn. So, and she's just like, well, they were sleeping. And it reminded me of every time you would tell me that there could be two like men on your front lawn fighting, and your dad would be like, shut the door.
Shut the door. Not our business. Shut the door. Yeah, that was my whole life has been shut the door.
It's not our business.
Well.
Shut the door. It's not our business. Mm-hmm. So basically, if you want to believe the prosecution,
right,
and that that Karen Reed, in a fit of rage, being pissed at him, thinking he was going to break up with her, and she was flirting with some other guy and drunk at the same time, on purpose, not just drunk, but on purpose, backed up into him and left him to die, then went home and left him 44 messages saying, fuck you, I hate you, you're a pervert, I hate you, which the rumor is the reason she's calling him a pervert, which I thought was a weird word.
Yeah.
Is the rumor among the town is these particular groups of cops were swingers.
Oh, man.
And so
maybe
she had heard the rumor and thought he was swinging with people in the house.
Okay.
So she's mad, like any woman that just is drunk and thinks they're not getting the attention they deserve.
Yeah.
Left 44 messages. And so they want us to believe that that's what happened.
But she was also texting somebody, right, as well? I'm not all that familiar
She was
with this
texting
case.
this ugly guy that had no neck named Higgins.
Oh,
And
no neck Higgins.
No neck Higgins. And I think she thought he was cheating with somebody or whatever. And she just started to reach out. 'Cause it was like the one number she had, in my opinion, had on her phone. And she was just kind of fishing to just get a compliment. But I don't think she was really looking to like fuck him. But I think he thought something else was going on. So maybe he got in a fight with them, whatever. We'll never really know. But he has all these scratch marks on his arms that are indicative of a dog who then conveniently got rehomed, and nobody knows where the dog is or what happened with the dog.
So does he have injuries? I'm not that familiar with the case. Like I said,
ask me anything.
So does he have injuries that look like a car ran you over? Because I mean, I feel like there's a specific type of injuries.
So the prosecution expert people would say, yes, I've seen a face like that that's been hit by a car. The defense is like, if he was hit by the car, why are there no broken bones on his chest and his ribs and everything like that?
Right.
There isn't. The only injuries he had was the face looked like it was beat up and, hit the back of his head.
Right.
And that was it, and then, but I mean, so all these people got rid of their phones, deleted calls, deleted text messages, said the calls were butt dials so they deleted them. But then once they were retrieved, they're like, why were you calling your sister and this and that? And it was a butt dial. We weren't really talking. It was butt dials. All that. They get rid of all that evidence because they had a dad like Mr. Franjola who just said, shut the door. It's not our business. And therefore we're not going to help. Everybody's Ring cameras all in the neighborhood or video security. All of that was unfortunately not attainable.
Right.
Nobody could see the person across the street who also was some cop. We would have had his film.
Yeah. We
would have seen her do a 3-point turn. She said, I did a 3-point turn to turn around. Is that when I hit him? So she probably did back because her car is showing that there was an acceleration. But that could just be drunk and mad. Right. Doesn't mean that she hit him. Then they also said, when we first found him, we didn't find any of the red taillight cracked. Then we took her car, and then we came back from after having the car in our possession, went back to collect more evidence, and that's where we found 42 pieces of the red taillight. So they're like, you put it around like Easter eggs, and just splacked it, so all of it, but other people might say, maybe they did this. Maybe they just didn't want their phones being retrieved because they were swingers, because they did talk shit, because they were doing shady shit in the department. Maybe that's why they got rid of all their stuff. She still hit him. So pretty much most people watching it believe there's an acquittal. But we don't know. We're not the jury. We don't.
So she's currently on trial for murder of her husband.
Yes. Not just like manslaughter, like murder. But they could come back and say manslaughter, I think, or they could just acquit it, make her free. Or they could say, no, she purposely did it and then left these angry messages, which is the opposite of what people do when they kill someone. They leave nice messages on the phone, A lot of people think if there's an insurance, this has nothing to do with insurance, but most people, when it's a domestic thing, it's what was the motivation? Why would you kill your husband? Well, there was $3 million insurance. Why would you kill your wife? 100. So anyway, I was talking to Peter, and I guess there is no life insurance on me anymore.
No? Oh,
no.
Well,
and then I thought,
get it. Then you're dead.
No. Now I think this is extra insurance for him. If something was to happen to me,
he could say
suspicious, I'm not even going to make $1 off of her.
Right. Yeah.
I think if someone wants to kill someone, they gotta want to kill them more than they want the insurance money. They should let the insurance lapse. They should let them know it lapsed. They should have a conversation of, since you turned this age, it's so expensive. I just didn't renew it. Okay, then wait about a year.
Right.
Then knock them off.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that could be the prediction that we asked for it.
But this is one of those trials. It's up there with the Johnny Depp stuff.
Yeah.
There's stuff in there like the shitting on the bed. Remember shitting on the
Oh, of course. It was great.
with Amber Turd. And all those kind of the weird. I mean, it really does kind of bring a nation together in a fun way.
When there is, especially when, because I'm not that familiar with it, but I do see things from time to time, and I'm like, oh, now I'll read about this because I see salacious text messages and stuff. That's the fun. And she's good looking, so that helps.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
And then I heard another content creator came up with something that said, that the nephew at the house, the son of the people who own the house, who was like in his 20s,
right,
supposedly was seen on John's Ring camera saying "fuck you" like a week before, and they think that maybe they had beef or he was selling drugs and John was going to catch him. I don't know. So I asked this girl who came on my show, has a great podcast, Annie Elise, and I said, "Have you heard that?" And she goes, "I have not heard that." So also, people can just put stuff out there.
Yeah.
So this is a comedic interview show with Chris Franjola.
Thank you.
We have not watched every episode of the case. We are not, but we are catching bits and pieces and enjoying it. And yes, I don't think but the pervert thing, the word pervert was weird to me that she kept saying pervert. Like I could see her being like, you're a cheater, you're a player, you're whatever. But I was like, she's like, I'm with your kids because he raises the niece and nephews. And she's like, but you're a pervert. I'm like, wait, she's not accusing him of doing anything with
maybe
the
it's
kids.
because of that story I was telling you earlier.
What?
That story I was saying that there's a new type of, they believe, cheating in the world. It seems to be an Australian article in the New York Post today. And they're saying 70% of women, believe that if their husband has is watching OnlyFans, that's cheating. So maybe it's something like that where he was watching OnlyFans girls and he's a pervert. You know what I mean?
Right. It could have been that, or it could have been the swinger stuff.
Yeah, which is even better. I keep swinging. I
and
hear swinging. And I have no desire for it.
Also, swinging in the dead of winter.
Yeah. Well, that's when
off
it happens,
all the
right?
No, I think swinging is more of like a Floridian, like warm weather thing.
Wasn't there a movie called The Ice Storm about swinging where it took place during an ice storm?
Really?
Yes. It's called The Ice Storm about swinging.
We talked about Nicole Kidman earlier in the show. I still have never watched Eyes Wide Shut, and I still don't know what the plot was.
What?
What is the plot of Eyes Wide Shut?
I don't know, but it's a great movie.
You know what I love to do? I love to go on Wikipedia and I just go, what is the plot? Yeah. And then I read the plot of every movie because I just want to know what the plot is. And I don't want to watch it.
I couldn't tell you the plot. I mean, it's a great movie. I know I've seen it several times and it's great. The plot is
it's
just
sort
weird.
of a swingers thing where they wear a mask and they're rich, but then like, did someone die? Like, I don't even know.
I don't either. Not that you mention it. I don't remember. But I know the party scene is great.
Right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Thank
Please
you.
Follow Chris. Please check out Cover to Cover.
Cover to Cover is my podcast. And come over to
and everybody
Instagram.
Yeah, and come over to Instagram. I tag him all the time.
I do all sorts of stuff on Instagram.
He does lots of little funny things on Instagram. Yeah. And you don't also have to tell me I like Chris better than you.
I know. Why do they pit us against each other?
It's fine.
There's no other podcast where people pit the guests against each other. Oh, they do?
People do. They're just bored. They just want. They just whatever.
I'm always the
favorite.
enough.
There's enough laughs, and you might as well just enjoy it all.
I love there's a few who go, I just don't get them. I find
about
them,
you?
Me, and I'm like, I kind of agree with you. I don't get me either. I don't get the appeal.
Sometimes I put on an outfit and take a photo and I go, oh, this is just going to infuriate them.
Yeah.
It's going to infuriate. Why is she smiling?
Yeah. Oh, my God. That's so great.
Anyway, you guys, thank you.